Um, okay, it is Friday, April 29th, and this is our leader call for the day. All right, who wants to start? We were talking about maybe just discussing like our biggest strength and our biggest weakness and just kind of help each other, in areas that maybe we're not so great at. I know Jenna and Michelle said they had been discussing theirs. I don't know if one of y'all want to start or just go with it.
I would say I can go.
Yeah.
I say for me, my biggest weakness I feel is recruitment from like coaches, like working coaches. And I know that's not something that like right off the bat you can like just determine like, yes, they said they're going to run this business and they do. But I would say like 3/4 of my team are just discount coaches and that's all they're interested in. And so I'm struggling with finding those people that, well, one, recruiting coaches in general, not just saying, oh, have Shakeology 25% off. And then, so I don't know if like my message is not good enough or like the way I'm presenting the opportunity. So I feel like that's kind of where my biggest struggle is.
Yeah. That's definitely not one of my strengths. Anybody have tips for recruiting working coaches?
I was going to say, Carissa seems like she does pretty good, like consistently recruiting.
I have a little bit. I was actually going to say, I feel like that's becoming one of my strengths in that I've been like watching people a lot on Facebook and seeing kind of what their lifestyle's like. Like people talk a lot about their life, like their struggles, like financial, being overwhelmed with an unhappy job. And I like look for things like that. I'm talking to somebody right now who's been working a bunch of random jobs, but she's not happy and she wants something that, she can do on the side in her spare time. And I started talking to her about it and learning more and more that she wants to really grow something big and incredible and create like hopefully financial freedom for herself. And so I feel like I look a lot at their background and what they're struggling with right now. And then I just try and talk to them. I talk to them a lot about it being difficult. I'm like, look, it's difficult. You have to work hard. You can work as little or as much as you want, but you're going to be rewarded the harder you work. Like every time I see myself put in more effort, I get more out of it. And so I feel like I talk a lot about that. And it maybe like before they even start, they know if they want this to be something, they're going to have to work for it. So I do say that before I sign them up. I don't know. My coaches are still, a lot of them are struggling to get off the ground. So I don't know if I'm the best example, but they want to. So, yeah, I don't know.
That's a good idea, like watching, because I've seen like a mom posted in our mommies group last week that she like lost her job unexpectedly. So like I commented, because we have like 850 moms in there. So I'm like, if it doesn't appeal to her, maybe another mom will see it. And I even messaged her, but of course, like shortly after I did, here comes It Works for Dan, like all these other, but I'm like, well, I mean, at least I try. I put it out there.
Yeah, I do a lot of, I've seen that a lot in like the buy, sell, trade pages and stuff. And I used to comment on them thinking the same thing, like somebody might see it and be interested. And I found that when I comment and all those people like jump in with the other stuff, it's like overwhelming and I get lost in the mix. So instead of commenting, I just message.
Me too. I do the same thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I don't know.
I think that's, I'm writing it down. I don't want you to think I'm ignoring you. I'm like writing down what you're saying. But I really like how you said, like how you share that it's difficult, but then you also like, instead of that being so intimidating, you're also saying like, but the reward I get for the effort I put in is this. And I think that's where I'm probably lacking at because so many times it's just easier to talk about the discount and kind of say, well, you don't have to do any work. You can just get a discount and enjoy it. And I feel like I don't do enough of the growth part of the business. Like I don't talk about that enough. And then I get them on board. And then, 3 months later when there are Shakeologies and oversupplied, then they drop out. So I really like that. I think I am going to implement that.
I feel like that becomes the part of the conversation in the end. I'll say, hey, worst case scenario, you get 25% off everything. And instead of like leading with that, that's like, hey, if you don't like it, and you just like the products and you don't, feel like coaching's for you, at least you're going to get 25% off of everything. And, and I do say to everybody, like, I don't want you to feel like you're going to be trapped in anything. You can cancel anything whenever you want, but I don't want you to have to, But yeah, I used to lead with the discount all the time, and I never had like a single person on my team page that would comment on anything or care about coaching. And now I like barely talk about the discount at all. It's like a extra bonus. You get 25% off everything.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Good idea.
I like that for sure.
Yeah, because I feel kind of like it kind of puts a label on them. I don't know. I heard that somewhere. Like if you bring up the discount, it's like, oh, well, I'm just going to do it for the discount.
And there's some people that really just don't want to coach. And so I will really push the discount. I'm like, they're like, I really don't want it. I don't care if it's an extra community. I don't care about like that support group. I really don't want to. And I still can usually get them to sign up as a coach and just really talk about 30 days, just try this stuff for 30 days. And then, you're saving money regardless. And you can cancel it if you don't like it. But I usually just tell them like, give me 30 days. Can I say something really quick too? There's this TV show right now called Strong. It's like a trainer competition. My cousin was on it and she got eliminated in the 3rd episode, but her trainer said to her, like, close your eyes and picture what you want to feel like at the end of this. Like, what do you want to look like? And I feel like I talk to my people I want as coaches like that. Like, what do you want yourself to look like? What do you want your business to look like? Like, close your eyes, picture it, dream it. Now, the only way you're going to get there is to actually try it for 30 days, to work hard and commit to it. And then if you don't like it and it doesn't work, then the worst thing is that you must have seen some kind of improvement and something made you happy, but I don't know. I felt like I watched that on the show and I was like, oh, I really like that. And I started saying that to people, like, think about what you want this to look like in a month.
Hey, Carissa, do you present the coaching opportunity to everybody? Like when they're wanting to join a challenge group or sign up with a challenge pack? Or do you just kind of feel it out and see? Because I did it.
I feel it out. I would say I offer it to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Unless I really don't want them to be on my team. Mm-hmm. Like there have been some people, like a couple of people throughout this whole process that have reached out to me about like doing a challenge and all that. And I know that I could never work with them. Mm-hmm. And I don't even want them to be in my downline. Like, I know that sounds awful, but like where I know that it would be much more of like a burden and unhappy relationship. So there are a couple of people that I haven't, and I've just had in my challenge groups, but I pretty much present the coaching opportunity to everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was talking to Jenna, like when Doug was talking to us about like being on offense and defense and like, what did you do to get to Diamond and what have you changed or whatever? The one thing that came to mind was like every single person that I talked to that wanted to, get a challenge pack, I would say, do you want to purchase as a coach or a customer? And I would like kind of talk about the difference and the advantages of coach. And I don't know what it's called, some kind of bonus where you get like so many coaches in a certain, I'm sure you've gotten it, Chris. Yeah. It's like $100 bonus. You get something. Mm-hmm. And I got like 2 of those in the beginning, and my recruiting was like 3 to 4 months. And like now it's maybe like 1 or 2 because I don't give that as an option in the beginning. I have been trying to just get them as a partner, get them in a group, build a relationship, then present it. And I'm like starting to think like once I heard Doug say that, I might try to go back to how I was doing it. Like the worst case is they just say, no, I just want to be a customer.
Right. Yeah, I agree. That's like worst case. It's like at least you present the opportunity. And I talk to people and I'm like, my friend like interviewed me yesterday for his blog, and it was kind of funny. He was like, I mean, why do you do this? Why do you want other people to like join you as a coach? And I was like, because it's awesome. Because it's awesome, because I love it and it's amazing. And I think they're going to love it too. And so I just tell them that. I'm like, look, I love my job. Some weeks I'm really like, frustrated and it's difficult, and maybe I'll take a little bit of time off to myself, and then I'm like going crazy trying to catch up because I'm being inconsistent. But I do think that, like, I don't know, just telling people how awesome it is.
Awesome. That's great.
Jessica, what do you mean?
What?
So I went through a phase where I was doing that and doing the opportunity at the get-go, and, you know, explaining the community and, you know, that they would get the discount, like if they continued with the products and this and that. And they always end up canceling, you know, like they'll hang around for a little while and don't really, if anything, I think they get worse results. And I'm not sure if it's just the examples that I had or if I was doing it the wrong way, but I kind of stopped doing it. So I was just curious, like, do you get a lot of people that will go that route in the very beginning and sign up as a coach and then end up just canceling altogether?
Yeah, I've had a few people, but I feel like the people that do that, they don't even give it any effort at all. Like, anybody that's canceled with me has literally like been like, oh, this is great. Yeah, I'll sign up and let's do this. And then like, I'll never hear another word from them. And I'm like, well, okay. You know, there's like, I'll reach out and I'll invite them to team calls and I'll do other stuff. But if they don't decide to actually start committing to things, it's just not gonna work. But yeah, some people just won't end up putting in the effort, even though they think they really, really want to, you know?
So just don't get hung up on that. I probably used them as a indication, and it was like worst case, you know, scenario. It was around the holidays, and I think that had a huge part of it too. So I
wouldn't
try it again.
Yeah, it bums me out when people cancel without even trying. But like, if they cancel without even trying, it's not your fault, you know? Like, I don't know. I think that's why I've started telling people more and more to, like, you have to work hard. Because otherwise people just sign up and think that, like, I don't know, it's just going to make sense. Like, it's very confusing. It's a very confusing thing starting as a new coach. Like, I had a new coach who I thought got it, and we did a Zoom call the other day, and she was like, so what's Success Club? I was like, oh, okay. You know, like, I think I always think that they just like pick up on these things like as we're going, but it's confusing. And if they're not willing to put in the time to figure it out, then they're going to get, you know, bored or frustrated or not care and just leave.
Krista, what's your process like for getting coaches started? Like, new coaches, like, what do you do?
So this is actually one of my weaknesses. I'm really trying to figure out like a better process, and I'm in the process right now of making a survey for like my new coaches or any of my coaches to fill out, like, what was it like being new? Did the new coach checklist help? Did the new coach get started right calls? Because I don't do my own new coach get started right calls, which I really, really think I need to start doing. I've been relying on, like, you know, Megan and Carrie's, which are awesome, but they're once a month. And I think maybe times that I have like more people at once, like I signed up 3 this week and I hadn't like in a month, I feel like I need to really just like do it on my own and make sure that they understand everything. So that's kind of what I'm trying to figure out right now. Insight from anybody.
Yeah, that's a struggle of mine. I don't feel like I start them out right.
So I do, and Breen maybe does this too, but I do individual get started right calls within 48 hours of them signing up. And I like created my own checklist like Megan has. I mean, pretty much it's the same thing, tweaked it a little bit to make it mine. And I added down at the bottom, I got it from the coaching from our office. I'll have to find where it is, but it's just like a list of like 6 questions, just asking them about themselves and kind of what they expect about it. And they're supposed to email me these answers. And so I know when I get the email from my new coaches, if they email me these answers, I'm like, okay, they want to do something with this. So especially with those, I say, okay, we need a Zoom call, you know, would today, at 4 work for you? Or, I try to give them 2 or 3 different times. And then I get on, and hopefully by then they have sent me the email. And so I kind of talked to them a little bit about, so you did, you did this, you worked here, now you're at home, or whatever. We talked a little small talk, but then I talk to them about their first 3 goals as a coach. And I tell them, we talk about Success Club and what Success Club is, how Beachbody created Success Club. Because some people, I feel like it's just, a way for them to get us to sell stuff. But I talked to them about how they went back and looked at, how the top coaches were successful and what they had in common. And what that was that they helped 3 people each month get started on a workout program in Shakeology. And that's how they created the challenge packs. And that's where they came up with our benchmark of Success Club. So I talk about the importance of Success Club, and I give that to them for their first goal for the first month. I talk to them about success starters. I tell them, their second goal is to get their product paid for, which if you hit Success Club, it pays for your product. And then we talk about going Emerald and the benefits of going Emerald, and that's their first rank advancement goal. And so from the very beginning, they know that these are their goals, but they're very achievable. And, and then I also say, okay, so what's success look like to you in this business? What does that mean to you? Does that mean you're going to get enough money to pay for your Shakeology every month? Does that mean you want to make enough to help pay your bills, maybe have a little extra fun money? Or is this something you really want to turn into a business that you want to be able to come home, or maybe you want to be able to provide an entire second income? And so we really talk about really what they see. And a lot of times they're like, oh, well, I think I just, if I could just get my Shakeology paid for, that'd be great. And I say, you know what, that is great. And we can totally do that this month. And this is how we're going to do that. But I don't want you to limit yourself. There's, the opportunity is endless. So if you ever want to pursue this more than just getting your Shakeology paid for, you can totally do that. So, and I try not to make them very long, just kind of give them the basics of those first 3 goals. I screen share my online office with them, show them where to go to set up their EFT management or whatever it is. I show them the Coach Mobile, so that I say, when you're ready to sign up your first customer or coach, this is the easiest way to do it. And really, that's pretty much it. I try to keep it pretty basic with enough information where they feel like they can go and get started and not have to wait for some training or wait for, ready to get ready type of thing. And then I know, if they start having more questions, that's usually a good sign. And I tell them the best thing I ever did was get on my online office and just play. Go look at the trainings, look at all the different products. I do show them like the tab, the marketing tab or whatever, where you can go in and see all the different products and what each workout has to offer. That way, when someone asks them about one they're not used to, they know where to go. So that's kind of how I get mine started. And it's worked well. I feel like since I started doing this the very end of last year, my coaches that show some interest in working are doing it. They're not quitting, when, I don't know. I'm still working on getting these people past Emerald, but they're getting there. And I don't know. And then there's people that they're just like, nope, I just want the discount. And I say, that's great. But don't forget, there's still this opportunity here if it ever wants to change, if you ever, want to pursue it more. So I don't know. That's what I do to get my coaches started. Not that it's the best way or the perfect way or that it always works, but I feel like
That's awesome.
I feel like an individual call works better for me, at least right now. I give them the option of getting on Megan's, but sometimes I feel like Megan's are a little big and can be overwhelming for a new coach. So that's why I try to do individual calls, at least with the people that really show interest in working. So
I think what
I had a new coach on her last one, and as soon as they started talking about like PV and team cycle bonuses, she like got freaked out and was like messaging me like, "What?" And I was like, "Just don't even."
I know, and
I
that's
want you to.
I know, because people want to know about it, but sometimes I'll
figure it out.
Yeah, and that's what I tell them. I say the way you're going to earn right now is off of commission, and we get 25%.
Yeah.
And I say once you start building a team, you start earning off the productivity of your team below you, and you'll see it start happening. I'll send you a short video of, that our corporate is made to make it a little bit easier. I don't want to overwhelm you or confuse you right now, is usually what I say, because I don't want to overwhelm them and then be like, oh my gosh, wait, what? PV, whatever, TV, team cycle bonus.
Yeah.
I don't get it. So,
well, I set up I have a website and I have a whole coaches get starting right, and it has everything on there that they need. And I made videos and all that, but I don't think that they're I don't know how many actually get on there and utilize it. And because they're messaging me questions and I'm like, it's all on there. I told you to go.
yeah.
So I think the information that you say you put out in your calls is really good, because it's the same way. I either feel like I word vomit too much and then they're like, what are you talking about? Or I don't tell them enough and so they do nothing.
Yeah.
And I think I just do Zoom calls. I just feel so awkward talking
no,
I
do
need to do it. I just need to.
I do too, but it's, they enjoy it. They feel like you're taking time for them, and at the end of the call, I say, this is your business and you're in charge of building it. I'm here to help you where needed. Our team page is there for you to post questions, ask there first. Usually, if you have that question, somebody else, might too. So it'd be good for them to see the answer, but I'm always here if you need, to send a message or text or something. But do use the team page as a resource to kind of let them know that, hey, this is where we go to ask questions type of thing, or go to the online office so they can kind of empower themselves and find answers themselves rather than just always leaning on us. So,
yeah.
I think that's so awesome. I had never done that. And then this coach wanted to a coach I've had for 3 months who hasn't done anything. I reached out to her and I was like, let's get you started. I feel like she has so much potential. She's been waiting to, reading all the manuals. So pretty. She's been reading everything, and hasn't just started. And so I called her on the phone and I was like, you know what, let's just Zoom call, I'll screen share everything with you. And we talked for 45 minutes, and in 2 days she went Emerald.
That's awesome.
It was she just started to understand. She signed up her husband, she signed up her mom, and she did it on Thursday. So next week she'll be Emerald. Yeah. And it's for 3 months she hasn't done anything, and that one Zoom call just gave her enough confidence to understand kind of what she was aiming for and how to set it up and how to set placement. Even though I have team calls on that she's watched, it's so different when she can just be wait, so I don't get that. You click that and then it turns red, you can actually have those conversations. So I think, I'm going to start doing that too. It's just taking the time to really work with them. And it blows my mind that Melanie makes her coaches earn Success Club before they get a call. Can you even imagine that?
I know, but when you sign however many coaches a month, you got, I don't know, you've got to figure it out somehow.
You can't do that. Yeah.
There's another, I've been watching a lot of Brittany Leggett stuff, and she said she has a qualifier for calls as well. And she said it doesn't have to be that you hit Success Club 5, but give them something to work towards. But they know that your time is valuable, because I think that's easy. When you do start recruiting more, and as your team grows, one, I want my team to know that I don't sit here and do this all day long, and they don't have to sit here and do this all day long.
Yeah.
To be successful. but two, like your time's valuable. It's a business, and maybe hitting Success Club is a little strict, but it shows who is like truly pushing for it, you know?
Mhm.
Like one Success Club point even to say like, okay, this is, and I don't think it's like, she doesn't do that for getting started right calls. She'll do that with everybody, but like to have other calls, she says like either send me an email with your goals that you want to talk about, or I think this was from the leadership videos that Megan posted that were really helpful. But
Mhm.
there were a few different qualifiers that I thought were like legit to help you know like which coaches were truly.
Yeah.
I wonder how much of that though is because of their like name in this business. You know what I mean? Like I'm obviously nobody in Beachbody. So for me to tell a coach like, hey, you're gonna have to do X, Y, and Z to get my time, they're gonna be like, whatever. But I feel like signing up under like Megan or Brittany, where like they're very well known on social media and things like that. They've probably been following them a while before they like approach them.
Megan told me that Brittany had the minimum number of coaches. She only had 20 coaches when she was a 5-star diamond.
Really?
So she's not a huge recruiter
Mm-mm.
at all.
Wow, that's
Like,
impressive.
Values her time. I mean, and I think she does a lot. She's an emerald. I can tell from her like calls, and she made a post today. I was like, she's definitely an emerald. But I think that she just does other stuff for her team rather than, you know, spends time on calls and whatnot. So.
Yeah. And Jenna, I mean, I think just because you feel like you're nobody, you know, they watch you and they feel like you are somebody and you're somebody that they want to be on your team. You know, so I don't cut yourself short. I mean, your time is valuable just like theirs. And just like Breen said, like, we don't want them to think that to be successful at this, you have to be available 24/7. You know, you have to set boundaries, and you have to say, you know, this is my job, but I'm also a mom and I also do this. And so, you know, I want to talk with you and I want to do this, but you've got to, you know, sit down and at least answer these questions for me, or come up with goal, you know, something to give them some type of qualifier to get that one-on-one time with you, because your time is valuable. And they, you know, they need to realize that, especially for when they start growing, you know, they need to know that, okay, well, I can't just be available for these people all the time. I've got to, you know, keep my sanity as well. So
Yeah, that's a good point.
Blair.
So, a simple example of like an assignment, Jenna, is like before I get on the first call to show them the online office and all that stuff, I get them to do the GEMS test so that I know how to communicate with them. So that's just like an example. You know, I'll send it to them and ask them to complete it before we hop on the call. That way, you know, I could efficiently, I don't tell them that, but, you know, talk on their level and make sure if they're a Pearl, I'm not like extremely in your face because I'm a Ruby type thing. So it's just simple assignments like that. And a lot of time, not answering right away was actually like unintentional because I can't always answer them right away. And I've been finding that those that really want to do anything with this, they usually answer me before I could even look at it, saying, oh, I already found it. I'm good to go. Thank you. Sorry. I'm going to have to get away for a second to refill milk.
You're good. No, I think that's good though, what she said. I mean, even if they're going to take a little bit of time to do the gym test or to answer your questions or to think about their goals, then you know that they're going to want to put a little bit of work into this. So I think that's good.
I've been sitting here in silence, but I'm going to jump off in a second. I just wanted to say I've been trying to focus more on recruiting, but I think it's definitely one of my weaknesses. But one thing I've been doing lately is every month I do run a free clean eating group. And with my new coaches, I'm now requiring them, if they really want to actively run the business, to invite people to those groups. And I tell them this is a great like stepping stone to start to get your first clients. And I've noticed that they feel a lot more comfortable with that rather than just like going out and, you know, cold messaging people. And I think that this next group I have, like, I'm starting to finally get some coaches who are taking a little bit of initiative, who want to invite to those groups. And then those are the people I plan to focus a little more on myself.
That's awesome. I like
Sarah,
that.
what do you do in your clean eating group? I've never done one. What do you do in your clean eating group?
Well, I don't know if she's still your success partner, Breen, but she did a like pretty in-depth webinar, gave us her guides, gave us her initial menu, and I just follow that. But I actually come up with my own menu each month because I have a lot of people that repeat these. And that's how I've actually gotten a lot of my own coaches. So that's kind of something that people look forward to for me.
Yeah, Jessica and Megan and Danae and I did one. I don't remember if it was last month or the month before, and it went really well. Like, I think I got 3 or 4 people that went to Challenge Packs.
Monday for the first time.
I think I pretty much get to Success Club, initially with those free groups, and then, some of those people will refer other people, and it turns into a pretty good following.
How long do you do it for?
Just 5 days.
And do you do like sample workouts in there as well, or just food, or?
Yeah, so in the beginning, I used to make people sign up for the on-demand, but almost no one did it. So now I'm just posting like some freebies from YouTube, and then I do a 21-day fixed meal plan. So I try to plan it based on like the lowest bracket.
Mm-hmm.
And then I do like a Google starting form, and I'll post that, and I'll let all the coaches like have their people fill that out, and I'll send them in the end. Like, it's a little bit time consuming, but I'll tell them like, your couple of participants lost this much weight or whatnot. And I'll tell them, you need to be messaging these people individually, asking them if they're prepped and ready to go, following up throughout the week. And I try to keep it organized by having them add their own people to the group, so I'm not messaging them and infringing on their potential clients.
And then each day, so the way it's different than like a typical 5-day, what I've done in the past is that you only post the menu, like you give them a grocery list. I don't know, Sarah, if you're still doing this way. No.
People just complain too much, so I just stopped.
Okay. The way that I did it and the way that Jen did it, and her upline is Megan Eggleston, and this is how they've done it. And it's been successful for me is, and people will complain, but I just say it's free and y'all can suck it up. But I only post, so they get the grocery list, so they know what to buy, and they like buy everything, and I tell them what they can prep for the week. And then they only get the menu for each day, but then they have to check in by noon on Tuesday to get Wednesday's menu. For me, it allowed me to see like who truly is serious. And generally the people that completed that wanted to move on to a 30-day because they saw results, because they were actually plugged in and they were accountable, rather than my previous free 5-day groups were just not worth it. Like nobody plugged in, nobody, everybody they just wanted the free menu and then they checked out. So by giving it like day by day, they knew they had to be present, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I
Take people out.
Do
I
I?
offer Shakeology if they want to try it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did a 7-day, and then I do like for each day of the 21-day fixed workouts, I post like 2 or 3 of the exercises, like clips that they can try at home, just to kind of get them like hooked on it and give them more of like a sneak peek. And then Shakeology is an option. They can get whatever flavors or however many packets they want, because I try to post like really appealing recipes like Snickers, Reese's Cup, Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, smoked Girl Scout cookies. Like I like to post stuff like that really catches their eye.
That was my question, because I'm running mine starting Monday. I've never done one. And I specifically posted in the group that I didn't want them to come worrying I was going to talk about Beachbody because I feel like it's all from like my friends list. And I feel like they see all my stuff all the time on my like page, and, and I wanted them to feel like it was like almost like a safe space where I was really just going to like just help them and give them tips and tools to being healthy. and that I wasn't going to be like putting product and stuff in it. And so I kind of said that in like the most mild way I could. Like, I want you guys to know I'm not going to be asking you to join me. And I don't want to do that. I'm really hoping that like they will just see that I'm knowledgeable in these 5 days and that I know what I'm talking about and that I'm genuine and I want to help them. And then maybe some people after will be like, you know what, maybe she can help me with this, or maybe I'd like to continue and see if I can join a challenge group or something, but without talking about, and I might, just say like, this is the workout I did today because I am doing Insanity Max 30. And if I'm going to talk about health and fitness and what I do, then I feel like I kind of have to share what I'm actually doing. And like, maybe I'll talk about my shake one day, but I didn't want to put like much Beachbody stuff in it at all if I could help it. And I don't know if that's like.
I think what you could do, Carissa, though, is like in the very end, like as you're closing it, you like I've seen Megan do it before where you just like you bring up Shakeology that yes, you drink it every day. This is why you've chosen it. You're not pushing it on anybody, but your results that you've seen are X, Y, and Z by doing it. And the invitation is always open for anybody willing to try it. And that way, like you're telling them about it, but you're not like every day you're not showing them your Shakeology and your Max 30 and saying, if you don't do this, then you're not going to get the results. Like I forget who I listened to recently, but they were talking about like, no, Shakeology is not the end all be all. Like there's millions of people that have been successful without it in their results, but this is what it's done for me and why I've chosen to incorporate it in my life. And I think when you approach it that way, like they won't feel like, especially when you've just given them a week worth of like all this awesome information, they're not going to feel like you did that. I don't think.
Okay. I agree. Because I want to include it because it is like legitimately a part of my life. Like if I'm sharing how I stay fit and healthy, and I'm going to share tips on like going vegetarian if anybody's interested in that and all this stuff. And so it'd be almost like fake of me not to talk about that because it is a huge part of my life. I mean, it's my job, but I also drink it every day and I'm doing Insanity Max 30. So if I'm going to talk about fitness and all that in there too. So I've been trying to find like that balance. I haven't started yet. And I'm like trying to plan it now. And I'm like, I don't want people to think that I have ulterior motives,
I don't think
I was just going to say two things, Carissa. One thing that we do is like, and this came from Breen's success partner, but she just says, if you invite a friend and you and your friend both complete the full 5 days, we'll give you a free sample Shakeology. You're not shoving it down someone's throat, but you're just giving an incentive. And then in the end of mine, I always say, like, I have a 22-minute hardcore group coming up this date, and this is kind of what it entails. I have a 21-day fixed group coming up this date, and this is what it entails. And I just say, contact the person that invited you to this group, your coach, for more information. And then I'll individually message people, and I know like who submits a starting form with measurements and ending form with measurements. Those people are the ones who are really committed, and those people are the ones who probably want to continue.
So that's really good. I wasn't even going to do any of that. I actually wasn't going to have them participate much unless they like, I just wanted it to be more of like me just giving information. I guess, and now I'm like rethinking how I was going to do all of this. I kind of just wanted to like literally make it like, here's just free knowledge. Take it as you wish, if you want. If people have already started posting questions, things they want me to talk about, and I kind of just wanted it to be a very like open space and not make them feel like they have to like report or like it's not a challenge group for me. It's more of just like an info session, I don't know.
I don't kick people out. I mean, I tried that in the beginning and it just wasn't. I mean, they're there because they do want free information, so I'm fine if they save my menu and they use it later. And I'll notice now that people deviate from it, which is not really the point because those are likely the people that aren't going to see results, but at least they've gotten a few recipes. And then those people start telling other friends for the next month. And now everyone knows, like, I do it the first week of the month. If you want to come, you can. And I always post the events, like, right after this one ends, I'll post next month's. And then it just, people start to trust you a little bit more with that. And you don't feel like you're, all about Beachbody in those.
That's good. That's good to know. Thank you.
Well, anybody else want to share a weakness? And then we can be done for this morning. Or do we feel like we've got lots of information to go?
I think this was really good. I
Yeah.
really like the idea of a meeting group. I'm definitely going to look into that more. I just feel like I need to like organize it first before I like put it out there, and then I have no idea what I'm doing because I want it to be successful. But I think that was I think that's a great way to get challengers as well.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I find my weakness is I waste time on stupid crap like visuals. Do y'all hire people out for things like that, or do you just suck it up and, I don't know, watch some YouTube videos on how to use PicMonkey and all that?
I haven't
just
hired
did it myself
anybody.
on Canva.
Yeah.
I don't like doing it either. I actually really, because I like feel like I'll spend all this time and like not a single person will fill out my application. I'm like, this is not fun.
That's how I feel too. Like I spend so much time and could be doing more effective things, but like I need to overhaul my cover photo and I keep putting it off because I know it's going to waste a ton of time.
I did mine last night and it wasted a lot of time.
Jessica, I feel like we should ask Danae to do ours. Hers looks amazing, and that's what she used to do is graphic design.
I thought of that too, but then she complained that she wasted so much time doing it when she knew what she was doing. Oh, great. Okay, I have another meltdown, so I'm going to go. Thank y'all.
Thanks, Jessica. Anybody else want to touch on anything before we finish up this morning? No?
Yeah, I mean, recruiting was mine and just getting my coaches to do things like hitting Success Club. Like my new coach that I switched from a customer to a coach that wants to work it is at Success Club too. And it's like driving me nuts because I want to be like, come on. But like, I know I can't do it for, and I can't want it for, but it's hard because we're like in the same mommies group and we have a lot of mutual friends, and like when they contact me, I really just want to be like, all right, here's a solution. Like I can get her to Success Club, but I know that I can't do that. So
Yeah.
and like I've gotten her started right. She's been on a lot of calls. She's asked me some really good questions. She understands a lot. So it's just like, I don't know what else to.
She'll get it. Maybe not this month. Maybe though.
Well, I think it's either like this month or next month that counts as her first month, right?
Mhm.
April or May, because she signed up this month.
Yeah.
So maybe she's just taking it in. And maybe next month she'll,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
That
She
is,
can't sign up her husband because of his job, so.
ugh.
You guys, I have a quick question because I just logged in. Do you guys ever log into your Coach Mobile and like somebody else's people are in your thing? Jenny, you're muted. I think you just said yeah all the time.
Yeah.
I just like refreshed
I'm like,
mine.
who are these
because
people?
I just refreshed it. Like I was logged in and I have someone that's supposed to be like going through. So I was like, oh, let me see the status. And nobody's in center started, but I have these 3 people. I have no idea who they are that completed in like April 2015.
Yeah. But then if you like refresh them, they like disappear.
It is so weird.
That's crazy.
Sorry, that's so pointless, but I just like refreshed it and I'm like, what the heck? Who is that?
Oh man.
Look at Courtney.
I know. She's making me feel like I need to go work out again.
I love her workout space. Like
I
her hardwood
know.
floors and how much she clean up.
Look at all those
The
windows.
garage is like a hot mess.
Okay. Well, I think this was a successful first leader call of the year. Maybe we can continue this for next Friday or come up with a different topic. I know we didn't get to touch on everybody's, so maybe we can just continue that. We can talk about that on the page.
Yeah, this is great.
Thanks y'all so much.
Yeah, this is
And,
awesome.
Thank you. Even though I was working out the whole time, I was listening and stealing lots of information. And next time, I won't schedule this to be the same time. But I'm trying to leave town like tomorrow, and there's a blizzard coming, so it's very stressful. I'm like doing a million things. But thank you.
Go check on
You
your
do what
chickens.
you gotta do.
Yeah, I mean,
Like that's time management. Like that's what we need to show people.
I know.
And
Absolutely.
she was nursing and working out. And
She got a lot done in this 45 minutes. Okay, guys.
have a good
Y'all
day.
Have a good weekend. Bye.
Bye.
Hi.